Prati asks, hi John, could I participate for a diversity visa lottery on F1 visa? Will it affect future non-immigrant visas? Okay, so the diversity visa lottery is the lottery system that we have, that the U.S. has. It gives up to 50,000 immigrant visas leading to green cards every year. Most of the time, no more than 30,000 people actually get the green card. But anyone can apply if their country is open to it. So if you're a country, you're born in a country that has a lot of immigration in the United States, you can't participate. But for those that have lower numbers, they can do it, and you could apply for it on the F1 visa as well. Now, I think the worry that Prati has is that if you do an act that shows you have the intent to live here, to get a green card is one of those. So maybe potentially applying for the green card lottery means you're trying to live in the United States, and that may mess up your chances of getting a future non-immigrant visa, temporary visa. So if you want to apply for a tourist visa and they say, well, you apply for the green card lottery, that means you actually want to stay in the US, you're not going to go as a tourist. Is that fear there? What we've seen in the past is if you had a family or employment-based case started, yeah, that could affect future non-immigrant temporary visas, like a student visa or a tourist visa. But applying for the diversity visa lottery, I have not seen that myself considered an actual petition or activation, and I haven't seen it become a problem for applying at the embassy or getting a visa and having a thing called immigrant intent. So for that question, I haven't seen it as a worry, and I do recommend most of my clients who potentially may want to move to the United States to always every year apply for the diversity visa green card lottery. Now, there's no fees for the initial application. If you type it in Google, there'll be a lot of websites that say, pay us, we'll do it for you, this and that. It's not required, but you gotta be very safe and sure of what you're filling out in the application. So in the green card lottery, if you have a typo in your name and your date of birth, that could easily lead to an automatic denial. If you don't list all your children and try to list stepchildren and biological children, adopted children, all of them, if you don't list all that information, that could lead to a denial. And a year or two ago, they updated the rules where you have to have a valid passport at the time that you file. So if you don't have a passport at the time that you're submitting for a green card lottery, that's not going to work. So it gets more and more complex. This is a thing that was created so that people could do it on their own without a lawyer. But as all things immigration, it always gets more and more and more complicated to a certain point that it's recommended to always have a lawyer. But most people do not hire a lawyer for the diversity visa application process. Just be careful when filling it out and make sure you don't have some wild errors in there. I hope you enjoyed this educational video. Also, you'll find our social media site has a lot more videos, images, and information about the US immigration process. Please check those out on the various social media websites.